Well, let me go a little vulgar. If, for example, on the floor of the house, you tell somebody you are an armed robber, you are a thief, the person cannot go to court against you and sue you for libel because it is absolutely privileged. So matters like that ought to have been done within the presence of the National Assembly, within the presence of the Senate, by complaining to the Ethics and Privileges Committee, because they have inbuilt mechanism to settle their quarrels. But they were not satisfied. They still went to court in a civil matter. But feeling that, oh, this civil matter is not coming out the way they want, they have now used their position as the ruling party with the AG as the ruling party AG to now take the same matter that is already in court in a civil matter that was already on the floor, which the Senate overwhelmingly on Tuesday voted against by saying nobody forged any rules here. We did not forge rules. These rules are extra, they are genuine. And so it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to follow the proceedings to see, because to forge under section 264 of the Penal Code,
it's a grave matter.
It's a grave matter, and you have to show which was the original from which you are having this forgery. When the people who own it say, we have not forged.
GT, what are your thoughts? He is saying that the Attorney General did not have the right to take it to court.
No, I didn't say that. I said it was not right for him to take it to court, but he has a constitutional right to. But in doing so, it was let me use the word. It was improper. It was improper.
What is your take?
Well, thank you for inviting me to come and participate in this discussion. And I start by saying that we always thank channels for being the right channels through which we can channel our views to the appropriate channels. Now, I will be guided in my remark because I take the view that in a way we are now dealing with a legal process, a court process. Therefore, the merit or demerit of that process are not matters over which we can make full, wholesome commentary in a way that will appear to be prejudging the matter. Indeed, that would be contemptuous. But I would say that I know that in the matter of public interest, it is legal and permissible to discuss matters, even though they are in court. The only question is that you have to do it in such a way that you don't then prejudge the matter and say that this is how the matter is going to go. Now, the critical issue before us today and regarding these charges, for me, are two. One, whether the Attorney General, whose office is established under Section 150 of the Constitution and who is vested with powers under Section 174 to institute, take over, or discontinue criminal prosecutions regarding federal offenses, could indeed institute the charges. And Elias San has made a concession at that point that nobody is denying the fact that the Attorney General has powers to institute charges, albeit he has to do so in the public interest and to prevent abuse of court process. This is considered. The next consideration is whether there could have been an allegation of forgery at all. And I answer that by saying, yes. Nothing that has been said in the papers, nothing that has been said by the senior leadership in defense of these charges indicates that a charge of forgery couldn't have been brought. Now, I'm familiar with the provisions of the Legislative House Powers and Privileges Act, Section 3 that was mentioned, indeed Section 30, that grants immunity, which otherwise you could call legislative privilege, to the proceedings of the House, in particular, words that are spoken on the floor of the House and words that are written in motions, papers, questions that are used in the House. These are covered. So you cannot institute any civil action in respect of that, of those matters. However, if a crime is committed in the House or in the Senate, that is not covered by immunity. And I'll give you a practical example. If a member of the House smuggled a gun onto the floor of the House and in a premeditated manner killed a colleague of his on the floor, certainly nobody will come and argue that that's covered by immunity. The allegation that is being made is not about whether you comply with the provisions of the rules of the standing order of the Senate, either standing order 2011 or the forged one of 2015. It is not about compliance with those provisions. It is not about quorum defined by section 10. It's about whether the purported standing order 2015 that was used had been amended by the Senate or whether it was forged. And I go back to that standing order. The provision of section 100 subsection 5 provides that in amending the Senate standing orders, two-thirds majority of the members shall pass a motion amending the provisions. In the case at hand, there was no such amendment, either in the 7th Senate or in the 8th Senate. It could not have been the 8th Senate because we are talking about inauguration of the 8th Senate on the 9th. So nobody has denied the fact that the 7th Senate didn't amend that. What we are being told is that an amorphous bureaucracy of the National Assembly was responsible for the amendment. An assertion that flies in the face of what the Senate standing orders provide as to how an amendment can be effected. That is the forgery that has been alleged.
In other words, the bureaucracy cannot amend the rules.
You can't.
The amendment has to come from the floor itself.
From the members.